You've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. Let's dive right into the 5 most powerful study techniques that I use as a medical student and help you boost your learning to the next level. First up is priming. The purpose of priming is to give you a basic scaffold of knowledge before you learn something. Imagine yourself as a sailor trying to map an island that has never been explored. You could either walk around blindly, trying to link the jungles and the mountains and the valleys together and build a full picture from the finest detail. Or you could climb up the mountain and have a bird's-eye view of the terrain. Then you can fill in the details later on. This is a much more efficient, less exhausting strategy. Now, how do you do this? Let's say I have a 1-hour lecture ahead. I would spend 10 to 15 minutes on my way to class, flicking through the lecture slides and get a general understanding of the content. During this process of priming, if you encounter a difficult concept, skip over it. By doing so, I would have in my head all the questions about the topic, which I can then fill in at the lecture or later on when I'm reviewing the content. You can apply this technique really to any kind of learning if you're doing it for the first time, just by going through the content causally and having a general idea of it, not to focus on the details. Technique number 2 is the extended Pomodoro technique. You've all heard of the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of work and 5 minutes of break. I've tried it too. What I've noticed is that my brain tends to spend 10 to 15 minutes just to warm up before I hit that state of flow where time passes really quickly and I hit that optimal productivity. I would then get interrupted at the 25-minute mark and have to re-warm up my brain after the 5-minute break. Instead, by having a work interval of 15 minutes followed by 10 minutes of break, I'm able to stay in that state of optimal productivity for much longer. I can then have a break when my brain doesn't chop through information as sharply as before. And of course, put your phone away, turn off your social media, and do all that good stuff. Next, we have the Feynman technique. Feynman. Yes, probably Feynman. I don't know. This is a learning strategy named after Richard Feynman, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist. There are a few steps to this technique, but basically it involves simplifying and teaching challenging concepts to someone else, which helps you reinforce your understanding and retention of the concept. Your student could even be an imaginary friend or a teddy bear, for example. This is known as the protege effect. It also gives you the opportunity to improve on the areas that you struggled on to explain. The 4th technique is spaced repetition, another well-known study strategy. Here's an example. On day 1, you study a list of Chinese characters and their definitions for the first time ever. You review the list again on the day after. Then on day 5, which is 3 days later, you review the list again. You would do this again about a week later. Then, 1 month after you're first exposed to the list, you would review it once again. To further strengthen your memory of the list of Chinese characters, you would do this once again in another month. This method is very useful for language learning or memorizing factual information, but you can also use it for active recall and learning logical concepts. Last but not least, we have the 5-second rule. This is my favorite rule to beat study procrastination. When you notice the urge to delay starting your study session, start counting down like this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As soon as you reach 1, immediately stop what you're doing and take action. Don't give your brain any time to come up with excuses. The action could be sitting down in front of your desk or opening the Anki app on your phone, or even just turning off your TV or the YouTube video that you're watching and head towards your study space. Take small steps. The key is to gain momentum so it gets easier to continue your task of studying. Before we finish off, here's an example combining all the above techniques together. Before you go to class, spend 10 to 15 minutes priming, quickly scanning through the lecture slides. And when you're at the lecture, during the lecture, focus on adding to the overall picture and leave the more challenging questions later on when you review the content. After class, optimize your study sessions with the extended Pomodoro technique, working for 50 minutes followed by a 10 minutes break. Also apply the Feynman technique, ideally to teach someone in real life, but if not, imagine you're doing so. As you continue studying, incorporate spaced repetition for long-term retention. Review the material or content at increasingly spaced intervals, such as the next day, after a few more days, a week later, and so on. Finally, use the 5-second rule when you're procrastinating. If you find these study tips helpful, please comment below, like this video, and let me know, so I'll make more of these content. Otherwise, stay fit, stay strong, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.